Hello everyone. Last time we covered the chapter how do organisms reproduce. In that we went to the subtopic which is about the flower, right? We studied the sexual reproduction and flowering plants, right? We studied about the structure of the flower in detail, the male part of the flower and the female part of the flower, right? If I have to talk about the male part, we have studied about the stamen, and when I have to talk about the female part of the flower, I have to talk about the carpel, or which is also known as pistil. We studied everything about the function, we studied the structure, yes, in detail. Now today we also learned about, last time we also learned about fertilization as well as germination as well. I forgot to say that. Now today we are going to begin with a new concept, that is the reproductive system in humans. When I have to talk about the reproductive system in humans, it is associated as male reproductive system and another one is female reproductive system, right? Now when I have to say about the male reproductive system, there are certain parts which are associated with the male reproductive system which play an important role in the reproduction, and these parts are, the first one is known as testes. The first one is known as testes. The second one is known as epididymis. The second one is known as epididymis. The third one is known as vas deferens. I repeat, it is vas deferens. The fourth one is termed as seminal vesicle and prostrate gland. Okay, seminal vesicle and prostrate gland. And the last one is known as penis. Okay, now you can either say it as penis, you can either say it as penis, that depends on the pronunciation of different people. Now, when I have to talk in detail about all the 5 parts, let's go into the detail. The first one, which is known as testes. Now, testes, it is the main reproductive part of male which produces the sperm. Now, sperm, we can say it as the male germ cells. Okay. Now the formation of the sperms, it requires a particular temperature which is lower than a normal body temperature. So where is it located? The testes are located outside the abdominal cavity. Okay, that is the lower part of the body, abdomen, the lower part of the body, right? Abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure. That sac-like structure is termed as a scrotum. Okay, now it has a hormone. Now it secretes a hormone. That hormone name is known as testosterone. Now this testosterone hormone, it gets released when the male attains its puberty level, his puberty level. Okay, when the male attains his puberty level, that is the time when the hormone is secreted from the testes, that is testosterone. Okay, the name of the hormone, that is testosterone. Okay, let's go with the second one. The second one, which is epididymis. Now epididymis, what does it do? Now whichever immature sperm is there, it travels to the epididymis for further storage and development. Okay. The third one, which is vas deferens. Now vas deferens, now from each testes originates a short tube which is called as a vas deferens, which is a passage through which the sperm travels towards urethra. Okay, the fourth one, which is their seminal vesicle and prostrate gland. Now these are the special glands that pour their secretion into urethra, and these secretion are essential for nourishment, that is giving nutrition to the sperm, and also helps in motility of sperm. Okay, it produces ejaculatory fluid. Now ejaculatory fluid is the one that helps the sperm in transport, and it also provides nutrition. Okay. The last one, that is the penis or the penis, the way that you pronounce. It delivers the sperm to the site of fertilization. Okay. Now we learned about all the 5 parts associated with the male reproductive system. Now if I have to talk specifically about the sperm, now we came across the word sperm many times in the description, right? Now a sperm, if I have to explain you a structure of a sperm, the sperm has 3 parts. It is bifurcated into 3 parts. The first part is known as the head, the second part is known as the middle piece, and the third part is known as the tail. Okay. Now the head which is there of the sperm, the head carries the genetic information. When I say it carries the genetic information means what? It passes the hereditary characteristic from one generation to the next, right? The second one when I have to talk about, the second one is what? It is the middle piece. Now middle piece is the one that carries mitochondria. Now when I say mitochondria is what? It is the energy production, right? So it gives energy to the cell. Then the last part is known as what? The tail. Now tail, what does it do? The tail, we know tail helps in the movement, right? So tail, it acts as a flagella which helps in the motility of the sperm to go to the female germ cells. Is that clear? This is how the structure of the sperm has been explained. Now we move to the next one, that is the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system has four parts. The first part is known as vagina. The second is uterus. The third is oviduct, which is also known as fallopian tube. And the fourth is known as the ovaries. I repeat, vagina, uterus, oviduct or the fallopian tube. Yes, the another name for oviduct. Then comes the ovaries. Okay, let's go into the detail about all the four. The first one, vagina. It is a muscular tube which extends from the vaginal opening to the uterus. Okay, it is a muscular tube which extends from vaginal opening, okay, to the uterus. So it provides what? The route for the menstrual cycle, right? It provides the route for the menstrual cycle. Now when I explain you what is a menstrual cycle, now for the process we term it as menstruation, right? The process we term it as menstruation. Now if I have to explain you completely what is menstruation, say like if a baby girl is born, it has many immature egg, okay? Now these immature egg, when does it get mature? When she attains her puberty level, which means when she attains her maturity level, that time this immature egg releases. When she attains her puberty level, this immature egg becomes mature and it releases every month in a female reproductive system, okay? And that process is termed as menstruation. And when she releases that egg, now when she releases that egg means what? She releases the egg in the form of mucus and blood. Okay, she releases the egg in the form of the mucus and blood. This mucus and blood goes it's a cycle of 28 days, right? After every 28 days, the female who has attained her puberty level, she goes through this particular process which is known as menstruation. Clear? So this particular immature egg gets matured and it gets released in every month. Okay, the starting phase of the menstruation is known as menarche, and the end, meaning say for example in 16 to 17 years, menarche starts. Now early stage, now now you must have observed many of the female are getting menstruating in the early age as well. That depends on the health that they consist of. Then is the next one, that is about the menopause. Now menopause is the end phase of the menstruation, which around 45 to 50 years of age. The female menopause, when I say, it is a stop of menstruation, complete stop of menstruation. That time there is no menstruation which occurs and there is no fertilization that will occur, because once she stops menstruating, there is no chances of baby, right? So, as I said, vagina, it provides a route for the menstrual blood. I hope you understood what is a menstrual blood. The vagina is a pathway through which sperm enters into women's body. Okay, vagina is the pathway through which the sperm during coitus or intercourse that we say, during that time, what happens through the vagina, the sperm enters into the uterus or into the woman's body. Now, it serves as a birth canal during the birth of the child. Okay, when I talk about the second part, which is known as uterus, now the two fallopian tubes open into a thick walled muscular organ which is known as uterus. Okay, now we all know that uterus is also termed as womb when a lady carries a baby, right? So when a lady means you can say when a woman is pregnant, her baby is accommodated where? In that womb like structure which is termed as the uterus. Okay, so it can accommodate a growing fetus and can push the baby during the child birth. Okay. The next one is fallopian tube, or which is also known as oviduct. It connects the uterus to the ovary. Now, oviduct is a passage where it connects the uterus as well as the ovary. Okay, so if from the ovaries, if the egg is released, it goes to the oviduct. From the oviduct, it goes to the uterus, and from the uterus, it goes to the vagina. Okay, in the same way, then there are two fallopian tubes, one on each side near the ovary. Right? Now, ovaries, which is there, the fourth one, ovaries, they are two oval-shaped organs lie to the upper right and the left of the uterus. Now, it develops and releases egg into the oviduct, right? As I said previously, it secretes a hormone which is known as estrogen, which brings about changes in girls during puberty. Now, as in male, the testes produces a sperm and it secretes a hormone which is known as testosterone. Now, when did I say it secretes the hormone which is known as testosterone? During the puberty, when male attains a puberty level, right? So, when they attain the puberty level, there is a mustache, right? There is a growth of mustache, there is a growth of beard, then growth of hair in the armpits, in the reproductive system, right? In the same way, the ovaries, it releases the egg, right? When it releases the egg, it also secretes a hormone which is known as estrogen. Now, when does it secrete the estrogen? During her puberty level. Now, when she attains a puberty level, what are the signs during the puberty level? Same, hairs in the armpit, right? Hairs in the reproductive tract. Then you can say about the enlargement of the breast. So, these are some of the changes that occur during the puberty in the female body. Now we move ahead with the last topic and a small topic of the chapter, that is reproductive health. Now when I say reproductive health, it is related to the contraceptive methods. Now when I say the term, that is contraceptive or contraception, what does it mean? It is the use of artificial means or artificial techniques to prevent pregnancy during intercourse. Okay, so there are many different types of methods, there are many different methods for contraception. So let's go into the detail about the methods. The first method is termed as mechanical method. Okay, and now in mechanical method, the example here you can give is cervical cap or condoms. Now this mechanical method is the one that has been normally used with all the individual, right? So during intercourse, they use a mechanical method, say for example condoms, and with that the fertilization may not occur. Next is IUCDs. The second one is known as IUCDs, that is intrauterine contraceptive devices. So here some devices have been inserted into the female reproductive system, and it does not allow the sperm to enter into the oviduct, okay, or to the uterus and then to the oviduct. Now here you can give an example of a copper T, okay, copper releasing hormone. The next one is chemical methods. Now in chemical methods, you can give an example here is oral pills. Okay. Next, fourth one is known as surgical method. Now here there are two surgical methods which have been considered. The first method is known as vasectomy and the second method is known as tubectomy. Now vasectomy is applied for the males and tubectomy is for the females. Now surgical methods means what? Through operations. Now what kind of an operation here? Vasectomy, when I say vasectomy in males. Now the vas deferens, vasectomy, the vas deferens which is there, it has been cut and is tied. So what happens? The sperm does not get released, so that it cannot go with the process with fertilization. In the same way, tubectomy for females, here what is cut, the oviduct has been cut and it has been tied, so that what happens, the ovum does not come in contact with the sperm. So that is the reason it is known as a contraceptive method. One of the contraceptive, that is the surgical method, wherein we have vasectomy as well as tubectomy. Okay, so I hope you understood the concept of the reproductive health, the concept of male reproductive system as well as the female reproductive system. Kindly go through it properly, study well. Thank you.